Hi, welcome to this webinar on maximizing workout performance and recovery by eating the right nutrients before, during and after exercise. My name is Leila Dehkan. Many of you may know me from other talks and webinars, but I can see some new faces here. Plus the recording will be shared with those who have signed up, and there are a lot of new names in that list. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. That way you will know you can trust the information that I'm about to share with you. I'm a qualified doctor. I was training to become a pediatrician when I had to quit medicine for health reasons. After quitting medicine, I transitioned into fitness industry. Being a vegan personal trainer meant that people kept asking me questions about protein. And although I had studied medicine, I had no clue about nutrition. So I had to educate myself, and that is how I discovered the whole food plant-based diet. The stories I read about a whole food plant-based diet, the benefits of a whole food plant-based diet, they were really inspiring. And they inspired me to change my own diet. So from a vegan kind of junk food diet to a no-oil whole food plant-based. And that is how I healed my chronic disease. I actually healed my chronic migraines. That experience was mind-blowing, and I decided to pursue a master's degree in clinical and public health nutrition at UCL. Now, the title nutritionist is not regulated in the UK, and anybody can call themselves a nutritionist. So as a nutritionist, I have chosen to register with the Association for Nutrition. This is quite important to me because they help me to always meet the standards of competence and professionalism required by them. I'm also an athlete myself. I practice Kung Fu, so maybe that's why my main passion is sports nutrition. I have created a module for a course at the University of Winchester. I have written a chapter on that topic for a clinical handbook. In addition, I regularly deliver talks and interviews on the subject. So by the end of this webinar, you will be able to understand the importance of pre-workout nutrition and the impact it has on workout performance. You will learn how to optimize your pre-workout meals on a plant-based diet. I will also discuss post-workout nutrition strategies on a plant-based diet. And how that can actually help, with muscle recovery and, enhancing overall performance. But more importantly, I will share actually practical tips on how you can maximize, your workout performance and recovery on a plant-based diet. When I talk to my clients or anyone interested in starting an exercise routine, they put a lot of emphasis on what to eat before, during, and after workouts. But you need to consider something. If your overall diet is poor, having one meal high in nutrients, one meal with the right ratio of macro and micronutrients, that is not going to make up for the poor quality of food you eat day in and day out. It is like a car. If you don't take care of your car regularly, filling it up with high quality gas before a race won't fix the underlying issues. So this is something to consider when you plan how to fill your workouts, especially when you feel like you have done everything right. You're eating the right foods before and after your workout, but you're just still not seeing the benefits that you're supposed to see. So consider that and look at your overall diet when you just fail to see any results. What is really the purpose of proper nutrition before, during, and after workouts? Why do we talk so much about it? First off, let's start with nutrition, before your workout. The food you consume before exercise plays an important role in, fueling your body. Think of it as filling up your gas tank before a long road trip. You need the right kind of fuel to power your journey. Similarly, by eating the right nutrients before your workout, you provide your body with the energy it needs to perform at its best. Moving on to nutrition during your workout. During your workout, your body is working hard and it needs proper nourishment to keep going. And post-workout, you have given it your all. Your body needs to recover and rebuild. So by consuming a balanced meal or snack after your workout, you can actually help your body to repair your muscles and replenish your glycogen stores and just, kickstart the recovery process. And also don't forget about hydration. That is something a lot of people forget about. So the ultimate goal of paying attention to nutrition throughout your workout is to optimize your performance, maximize your results, and support your overall well-being. Let's talk about the pre-workout nutrition. As mentioned earlier, the primary goal of a pre-workout meal or snack is to give your body the necessary fuel to boost performance. And that applies both to endurance and resistance training. I should add here that most of us, when we go to the gym, we engage actually in a combination of endurance and resistance training. And the same applies to most sports, which are a combination of endurance and resistance training. And the right fuel will help boost your energy levels and stamina and overall performance. So what does the guideline say? The American College of Sports Medicine recommends consuming a meal or snack 1 to 3 hours before your workout. And the food you choose to eat should contain carbohydrates, protein, and a small amount of fat. But they go on and discuss each of these macronutrients in more detail, and that will help you actually to make an informed choice what you should be eating before your training session. The most important macronutrient to consume before a workout is carbs, because carbs are actually your body's preferred choice of fuel. They provide glucose. And ideally, you should aim to have complex carbohydrates such as whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. Complex carbohydrates provide sustained energy release, and they help prevent a quick drop in your blood sugar levels, and that is what you want to achieve during your workout. The recommendation is to have 3 to 4 grams of carbohydrate per kilogram body weight 3 to 4 hours before exercise. So it's easy to remember. And depending on how you feel and when you had your last meal, the American College of Sports Medicine recommends consuming 15 to 30 grams of carbohydrate just before your exercise, so 5 to 10 minutes before your training session. You can also add a small amount of protein in your pre-workout meal or snack, and that will help you with muscle repair and growth. But when it comes to protein, you need to be cautious because protein-rich foods can actually take longer to digest compared to carbohydrates. And if you have a large amount of protein immediately before a workout, you may actually feel full and bloated. Some people even experience nausea and severe stomach upset. So the decision to add any protein to your pre-workout meal needs to have a personalized approach. You need to experiment and see what and how much you can actually tolerate. And the same applies to fats. A small amount of fat is okay, but fats actually slow down digestion, and that can make you feel full. Some people even feel sick if they work out after having eaten fat, while there are people who tolerate it quite well. So in general, the recommendation is to limit the consumption of fats before a workout. And if you choose to have fats, always choose healthy fats. Obviously, how much fat or protein you consume before a workout plays more a role if you're having a meal. If you're just having a snack, then it is easier to limit or avoid fats or protein altogether. And you can just focus on carbohydrates because, as I mentioned earlier, I know I keep repeating myself, but carbohydrates are the main macronutrients that can provide the fuel your body needs. The ACSM guidelines also suggest that we consider additional points like the timing of our pre-workout meals. You want to allow yourself enough time so that your body has enough time to actually digest the food that you have eaten before your workout. So eating a large meal or even a large snack before a workout may actually increase the risk of gastrointestinal discomfort. Also remember, we all have different needs, preferences, and sensitivities. So your pre-workout nutrition needs to be individualized. Experiment with foods and meals. Find out what suits you best, what your body tolerates, and what actually supports your, workout goals. The same goes with timing. Experiment with timing. The recommendation is, 1 to 3 hours before exercise. So experiment and see what works best for you. Can you eat a large meal an hour before your workout without being sick? Or do you need to eat, something 3 to 4 hours before your gym session and then a small snack just before hitting the gym? And also, don't forget about hydration. You want to make sure that you're actually well hydrated before you start your workout. You can judge your hydration based on the color of urine. There are a lot of charts with different shades of yellow, which you can use to judge, your hydration levels. This chart is from the NHS website, and it shows the different shades of yellow and what you need to aim for. A clear yellow means that you are well hydrated, and that is what you want to have before you start your workout. So what are some good pre-workout snacks? A classic snack is a banana. And if you want to, and also based on whether you tolerate it, you can add 1 tablespoon of your favorite nut butter. And that way you add actually some protein and healthy fats. Another good option is oatmeal with fruits and nuts, a small or large bowl of oatmeal with fresh fruits like berries, bananas or apples. Then you can sprinkle some nuts or seeds on top of the oatmeal. And this way, again, you add protein and healthy fats. Smoothies, simply blending a mix of fruits, leafy greens, a plant-based milk of your choice. I usually recommend soya milk. Then you can add nuts or seeds. Again, my favorites are hemp seeds or flax seeds. So that these are good options for athletes. Smoothies are actually a good pre-workout meal because some people tolerate liquids much better than solids before exercising. So that is something to consider. Chia puddings are also good. You can make your own by mixing chia seeds with plant-based milk, and you can add maple syrup, date syrup, or just simply some dates, to make it sweeter. You can add cacao powder or vanilla, then leave it in the fridge overnight, and in the morning you can top it with fresh fruits and nuts. Energy bowls, again, you can buy them or make your own. And most recipes you find, they're actually very simple. You just need dates, seeds, nuts, maybe some oats, and then any flavoring you like to add to your energy bowls. So you see, it is very easy actually to create your own pre-workout meal or snack, which, as you can see, are high in carbohydrates, and that is what you need really. Now, before moving on, I want to discuss a question that I have received, and it is about working out in the morning. This is actually a very common question that I am asked. Now, we said that the recommendation is to eat something 1 to 3 hours before your workout. But nobody wants to wake up, 1 to 3 hours earlier just to eat something. And some people just don't like to eat anything first thing in the morning. So the recommendation by ACSM is to eat something small like a banana or a granola bar 30 minutes before your workout. But there are people who actually work out fasted. In fact, many of my clients, it's interesting, about 90% of them actually work out fasted, and they do quite well. So it is possible to do it. I do that myself, by the way. But you need to be aware that if you're fasting and you go and work out, your energy levels may not be as good as it could be. And also in my experience, people actually feel fatigued at the end of their workout. So after, like 30 minutes or 45 minutes, a lot of people feel a bit like they just lack the energy. Now, also, many people who don't eat anything before they exercise, what they do is they actually consume something during their workout. So that gives them the extra energy that they need. All in all, it depends on your goal and the purpose of your exercise. But I would like to mention that I would definitely not recommend being fasting, to be fasted before a race. So even if your race is just like, half an hour or so, you still need some energy because it's a race. You want to do your best, so you don't want to be fasted. So let's move on. What about nutrition during exercise? Do we need to consume anything, during our training session? Well, it depends. The primary goal of eating during your workout is to sustain your energy levels and boost your performance. So providing your body with fuel during training can actually help maintain endurance and delay fatigue. And if your workout or training session lasts longer than an hour, your glycogen stores are going to be depleted and your body is going to turn to fats as fuel. And converting fatty acids to glucose takes longer. So by consuming carbohydrates during exercise and giving your body glucose, you can actually provide a readily available energy source. And this can help maintain blood sugar levels. The ACSM recommends 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrate per hour, And if you're engaging in ultra endurance events, then the recommendation is to have like up to 90 grams of carbohydrate per hour. Examples of easily digestible carbohydrates include energy gels, which many runners consume during their races. Some plant-based athletes that I have worked with, they actually like just to have dates or even a piece of fruit, during their workout, during their training session. And that gives you enough, adequate amount of glucose. Again, you should experiment with different forms to find out what works best for you. But make sure to experiment before your race and before your main event. What about protein? In general, there is no need to consume protein during your workout. Protein is actually required for muscle repair and growth. And it is more important to consume adequate amount of protein in a day and then after a workout, which I will discuss later. During workouts lasting longer than an hour, you need to consume a source of carbohydrates. And as I mentioned earlier, if you are working out fasted, you may want to consider actually having a carbohydrate source during your workout. Again, something simple and small, as a couple of dates, that can be enough. And do not forget about hydration. In fact, you could have a smoothie, which you could, provide fluid plus a source of carbohydrate. So that is a nice way of actually making sure that you get, you are hydrated during your workout. And as far as hydration is concerned, the ACSM recommends taking small sips of water every 15 to 20 minutes, especially during prolonged or intense activities. You may actually even need electrolytes. But for most of hobby exercises, that's not necessary. Even for most amateur athletes, that may not be necessary. But again, I think nutrition during exercise is highly individualized. Some people may find that they perform best with no or minimal intake during exercise, while there are others who say that they perform better if they have a snack during their training session. So don't compare yourself with others and see what works best for you. After a workout, your glycogen stores are depleted. Your muscles may have experienced microscopic tears or damage. So the primary goal of your post-workout nutrition is to address those issues. Post-workout, you need to think of the 3 R's. Replenish your muscles with carbohydrate to replace what was burned off in exercise. Rebuild your muscles with protein and rehydrate with fluid. By consuming carbohydrates, you can replenish your glycogen stores, and this helps restore energy levels and prepare your body for future workouts. If you're working out later on the same day, the ACSM recommends 0.7 gram of carbohydrates per kg body weight 30 minutes after workout. And then you should have 1 to 1.2 gram of carbohydrate per kg body weight for every hour for the next 4 to 6 hours post-exercise. Good options are complex carbohydrates, again, whole grains, sweet potatoes, or fruits. Then you rebuild your muscles by consuming protein. Protein provides the building blocks necessary for the synthesis of new muscle tissue. And the recommendation is to have 15 to 20 grams of protein, or you can calculate 0.25 to 0.3 grams of protein per kg body weight. So that is quite enough. And good sources are, any legumes you like or tofu. And of course, don't forget about rehydration. And in my experience, many people, they drink during their workout, but they stop afterwards. But you need to drink enough to restore hydration levels. And remember, I showed you a chart earlier. Use that chart to assess your hydration levels by monitoring your urine color and drinking more if required. Now, before discussing a few actually post-workout meals and snacks, I like to talk about the anabolic window, which refers to a specific time period after exercise when it is believed that the body is most receptive to nutrient intake. It is believed that consuming protein carbohydrates within 30 minutes to 2 hours after a workout can actually optimize muscle recovery and enhance muscle gains. And that's probably why you see people drink a protein shake in the changing rooms because they don't want to miss that anabolic window, which is quite narrow. Well, recent research has actually challenged the concept of the anabolic window, and there is no evidence that suggests that nutrient timing may not actually be as critical as we used to believe. In fact, it is now believed that the overall daily nutrient intake has more impact on muscle recovery and growth. So it is more important to make sure that you meet actually your daily protein carbohydrate needs than just focusing on what you eat immediately post-workout. Nutrient timing and the anabolic window are more important for athletes who, train a few times per day. They train a few hours in the morning, then they may have more training session in the afternoon or later in the evening. For the average hobby exerciser, or even for most amateur athletes, nutrient timing doesn't really play a huge role in muscle recovery and growth. So here are some options for you to eat, post-workout. So you want carbs and protein, and the ideal ratio is 3 to 4 to 1. So basically for every 3 to 4 gram of carbohydrates, you need 1 gram of protein. So you see the emphasis is again on carbohydrates. So again, bananas or apple slices with, nut butter of your choice, almond butter, peanut butter, whatever you like. That is a good option. Bagel with hummus, whole grain crackers with almond cheese. They are better than, actually almond cheese is much better than coconut-based cheeses. Rice cake with hummus and tomato, or cucumber, or any other salad you like to add to your hummus sandwich. Or if you want something larger, you can actually have a sweet potato and black bean burrito, and add avocado slices, and make sure that you choose whole grain tortillas. You can have a chickpea salad wrap, mashed chickpeas with vegetables, and again choose a whole grain bread. Or roasted vegetable and hummus sandwich. So as you see, many of these meals are what we eat actually at meal times. So for hobby exercises, usually just eating your meals and focusing on your overall diet and making sure that you have the right amount of carbohydrates, protein and fats, healthy fats, at meal times is enough, and that would give you the right nutrients that you need to fuel your workouts. So in summary, pre-workout you should consume 3 to 4 grams of carbohydrates per kg body weight 3 to 4 hours before exercise, and then maybe 15 to 30 grams of carbohydrates just before exercising. And whether you want to add some protein and fat depends on what you tolerate. During your workout, if you are working out, if your training session is more than an hour, then you need to consume a source of carbohydrates, 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrate for every hour that you exercise. And if you're engaging in ultra endurance events, then you can increase it up to 90 grams of carbohydrate per hour. Post-workout, you need both protein and carbohydrates, and the ratio is 3 to 4 to 1. So the recommendation is 1 to 1.2 gram of carbohydrate per kg body weight, and 0.25 to 0.3 gram of protein per kg. And finally, don't forget to rehydrate and stay hydrated. Thank you. If you have any questions, just comment below on the video and I will reply. Bye-bye.